Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am Julie. I'm mom of 7 kids. We love to read. It has been a long time since I did one of these kind of videos. I'm actually pregnant, and whenever I was going through morning sickness, it was right around the holidays and afterwards. And hold on a second, my husband's calling. Okay, I'm back. So I can't remember exactly what I was saying, but I think it was about morning sickness. And I went through morning sickness and I was still reading to the kids, but it just wasn't up to doing these videos. So I've had some requests from people saying, when are you going to start those videos again? Here I am. Let's start with some kids books that we've enjoyed lately. I just finished this book with my 3 and 5-year-olds. I've had this book for a really long time, and this is actually the first time I've gone all the way through it. Isn't that funny? It is Hiding God's Word in Little Hearts, my ABC Bible verses. And this book, on each page, you will get, at the top, there'll be a Bible verse, a little description, and then a story that goes with that. This is, let's see, as a family we use the ESV version. This is not the ESV version. I can't remember what it is. It is King James, it looks like. But I wasn't having my little boys memorize from these verses. We read this at night together when I was putting the 2 of them to bed. My only thing I have to tell you about this book is it's very idealistic. In every little story there's a problem, and it resolves very beautifully every time. So maybe there's a kid that is being unkind to one of the little siblings, and they just, use the verse to say, how they feel, and the other child is immediately like, you're right, I was so wrong. So it is the ideal of what we would like for our life situations to be. That's what you will find in that book. This is one that we have read over and over. What do you need, buddy?
I can't zip it up.
Okay, well, I'm recording a video right now, so you can just wait till later, okay? This is a book that we have enjoyed. Actually, Jan Brett has a lot of great books. They're a little bit unusual, her stories and her illustrations. This one, Daisy Comes Home, is about a girl who has chickens and sells the eggs at the market each day, and how one of her chickens is picked on by the others, and so she doesn't go into the hen house one night and ends up getting lost and having all these experiences. So it's kind of a more exciting book. So it's not, my 5-year-old and up really enjoys this book. Of course, Jeremiah always sits and listens. He's a good listener, but probably right around that age. This is also another book that's a little more interesting also for older picture book listeners. These books by James Herriot are really neat. He was, I want to say he was maybe a country veterinarian. He wrote books actually, let's not slam the door. He wrote books actually for adults about his experiences also, but he wrote several picture books. And so this is one about a dog that doesn't have a home and is injured, and he and his wife, who's his assistant, fix up the dog and help it to heal, and it's about the dog's story of finding a home. And also it's told completely from the point of view of the veterinarian. Okay, sorry for all the interruptions. It's a busy household here. My kids keep running in and out. So this book is probably one that you've heard of. It's a pretty popular book. My little boys have been asking for this over and over. They also checked out from the library some of the other books in the series, which is If You Give a Pig a Pancake. And
If You Give a Dog a Donut.
If You Give a Dog a Donut, some other ones. But the reason that I wanted to share this with you is to let you know that on Amazon Prime, go ahead and sit on the floor so you don't bump this. Thank you. On Amazon Prime, they, right now, which is how we watch TV, that's our TV channel, they have an If You Give a Mouse a Cookie series, which is a really cute series of shows based on the concept of this book. Okay, this is a book we got from the library. This book is nothing educational, it's completely silly, but my 3 and 5-year-old thought it was hilarious. It's about this mother and father frog who have 999 little babies, and how they grow, and they go looking for a bigger place to live, and the dad accidentally gets picked up by a, what kind of bird is it, Bella? You would remember. A hawk. And how all of them grab a hold to one another because they're just this strong family unit, and they end up flying through the sky, and the hawk takes them and drops them accidentally, and they fall in this lake. I mean, it's just completely ridiculous, and they asked for this book over and over and thought it was hilarious. And so before I take it back to the library, I wanted to show it to you. And lastly, this is a picture book that would probably be even more appreciated by older children. This is the story of this woman. It's a true story. She had lost her legs as a result of the Boston Marathon Massacre. I can't remember what they officially call that thing. Let's see if I can look in the back. It's not there. Anyway, you probably don't remember what I'm talking about. And so they don't discuss that event at all. The only reason I know that is because there's an author's note in the back of the book. The story is about, it's about two different lives. Her life and the life of this dog rescue, and how they both start out just kind of, you know, struggling with their own difficulties, and then how they come together and form a good team together. So this, like I said, my little ones did sit through this because they sit through everything, but I think it was more like my 7-year-old and up that really took a lot away from this story. Okay, on to the chapter books. Like I said, it's been a long time since our last video. I do not remember. I should have gone back and looked, but I don't remember what we were reading in the middle of reading at that time. But we did finish everything. No, that was way long ago, Bella. So you remember Bronze Bow, but I think that was probably almost a year ago. So anyway, just starting fresh. This is what we've read the last 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. We read These Happy Golden Years, this book in the Little House series by Laura Ingalls Wilder. We had never read this one before. I thought we had read them all, but somehow we had missed this one. I think I had set it aside at the time that we went through the whole series because this is about her older years, and she actually gets married by the end of the book. And so it's about that time of courtship with Almanzo and just how that all comes about. It was very sweet. Everybody really liked it, boys included. This book I highly recommend, and it is one of 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 in this series. These are true stories that the author wrote about her grandmother. Now, if you can imagine, let's see here. This book is not new. The grandma, or the lady who wrote it, is like a grandma herself and writing about her grandma. So you can imagine how old these stories are. But the kids begged me for this book. Each chapter is its own story, so you can easily read it a little bit here and there. The stories were funny, they were just really captivating, and also the grandmother had a very strong faith, and so that comes through in the stories, so there's a lot of encouragement there. It was so good. We are going to be getting the other ones in the series. This is a chapter book. I like to go back and forth between serious and lighthearted. This is definitely silly. We had read Toys Go Out, I think was the first one. It's just, if everything's from the point of view of these toys that talk and have adventures, and it's just kind of a really silly book.
It's really fun.
Lighthearted. And then for our serious book, as a family, we read Jim Elliot. He was a missionary in Ecuador, and it was a good book, but of course, you know, be warned, he dies at the end, just like in about all of these. But we really enjoy this whole series, the Christian heroes then and now. Of course, like I was telling somebody recently, for Jason and I, our favorite has always been George Mueller. Nothing can top that one, but all of them have been really good. And the book that, so we literally just finished this one 2 days ago, so we need to start a new family book. And then the book that I'm reading to the kids while Jason's at work is this Ginger Pie book.
So far it's sad.
It's very funny. The kids are constantly laughing, but yeah, their dog is missing, so that part is sad. But we've really been enjoying this book. Another just kind of lighthearted book. So that's what we're reading right now. Be sure to leave a comment and let me know if you have any recommendations for us. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.